Hello, readers. Welcome to Unit 10. This is a unit about weather and hurricanes in specific and tsunamis. So this is an introduction to the first passage in Unit 10. So we're going to be doing, in this introduction video, setting a purpose for reading, previewing the text and looking at text features, looking at vocabulary and definitions, and adding to our background knowledge about hurricanes. So the passage that we're going to read first is called Hurricane, and obviously, right, it's about hurricanes. This is informational text. The author's purpose is to inform the reader about hurricanes. So our purpose as a reader is to learn information about hurricanes. The big ideas for this unit, you should be able to answer these questions, at the end of the unit. You don't have to write anything down right now, but let's just think about this. How are hurricanes formed? You might already know some of the answers. How are hurricanes different from other storms? Okay, next, we're going to take a look at the text features, and we're going to just preview. Look at the title, pictures, captions, headings, margin, maps, charts, and graphs. That helps us to understand what we're reading. These are some more specific things about, reading for a purpose so that we would be able to, this is all the information that you should be able to learn by the end of the unit. We'll skip vocab and come back to that. So the first thing is to take a look at the title and the pictures. This is a photograph of a hurricane. So it is taken, it's an aerial view looking down probably from an airplane, right? And the title is Hurricane. So there are some unique features in this passage. There are charts. So there are some charts, and a table has a title, and there's information in here. This is telling us about the number of storms per 100 years and the number of tropical cyclones per 100 years. In Language Live, all of the vocabulary words in a unit are bolded in the text passage, and they are highlighted in yellow in the margins. We look at pictures. We look at the caption underneath the pictures. The caption underneath this picture is telling us about Hurricane Katrina, a Category 5 hurricane. Was one of the worst hurricanes in American history because of the destruction and the loss of life it caused in Louisiana and Mississippi. And you may know Louisiana's been hit with hurricanes. Recently, they had 2 hurricanes coming up out of the Gulf of Mexico. So this is hurricane season, and there are places in the United States down along the Gulf of Mexico that are being hit right now. Here's another chart, and this tells us a little bit about hurricane intensity. So we know that we're going to learn about categories of hurricanes and the wind speeds and what that kind of damage would be based on wind speed. There are also some insets, these kind of did you know bubbles. I'm not going to read them right now. That'll be for another little mini lesson later. Let's go back up and take a look at the vocabulary for the unit. Threaten means to be a possible source of danger or discomfort. You don't have to write anything down, but the knowledge rating for vocab words, you might be familiar with this, and teachers have had students do this for a long time. If it's a word you've never heard of, that would be like a 0. I've never heard of that word. 3 would be, yep, I know that word. I can use it. I could write my own definition. I could spell it. So that, and 1 and 2 would be somewhere in the middle. But you don't have to write anything right now. Property means land or objects owned by someone. Definite means firm and clear, exact, right? You want a definite answer. Or a hurricane could have a definite shape. Sustained means that it kept going for a long period of time. Sometimes when they're talking about hurricanes, they talk about sustained wind speeds. That means wind speeds that stay a really, really strong miles per hour for a long period of time. Ordinary means just not special or different in any way, just normal, ordinary. Intense, very great or strong. Surroundings means the things or conditions around a person or place. So your surroundings are your home. Scale, in the context of this text passage, it means a numbered system or a device used to measure something, and in this case, it's measuring wind speeds on hurricanes. And we are going to watch a short video to build some background knowledge about hurricanes.
Typhoon, cyclone, hurricane. These are names from different regions of the earth, but all referring to the same whirling mass of waterlogged air. A few clouds and raindrops over the ocean can turn into something very, very big. Hurricanes form as ordinary thunderstorms, but unlike over land, the falling rain is constantly replaced by warm, wet air rising from the ocean surface. The air's rotation causes vertical winds to begin to spiral and form an eye. The calm center of a hurricane. Heat, rain, more heat, wind, and more rain continue to fuel the swirling winds.
Until it hits land, that's when the real damage is done. Without the warm tropical waters underneath them, hurricanes do weaken and die out. But in the meantime, they hammer coastal communities, lashing the shores with 100-plus mile-an-hour winds and ocean waves that can rise to 40 feet and more.
Technology for tracking hurricanes hasn't changed our ability to stop these storms, but we can predict and watch for them days in advance. This wasn't the case on September 9th, 1900, in Galveston, Texas. The powerful hurricane had roared across Cuba and into the Gulf of Mexico. There were a few warnings telegraphed to cities along the Gulf Coast, but little ability to predict its movement. Few people evacuated Galveston. Out of a population of 37,000, over 8,000 people were killed.
Today, we have the ability to watch and predict hurricanes with incredible precision. In 2005, the path of Hurricane Katrina had been tracked for days. Hundreds of thousands of New Orleans residents evacuated the city, but 1,100 New Orleans residents died, most of them after the levees broke, flooding low-lying parts of the city, and nearly half of those people were over the age of 75. They were either unwilling or unable to leave the city.
Meteorologists and other scientists are constantly learning more about predicting these storms and how to get out of the way when their power is unleashed.